In the shadows of Freddy's Fazbear Pizza, something sinister stirs. Animatronic terrors await, and you're a face about to face a night of pure dread. Can you survive until dawn? Get ready for a heart-pounding journey into the chilling world of Five Nights at Freddy's. Be aware, once the night falls, there's no turning back on Two Geeks and a Microphone.
Hello there. So who talks first? You talk first? I talk first.
Well, I guess I'll talk first today since Steven is running a little bit late. He's supposed to join us shortly. Got some dog issues, I believe. Anyway, so Megan and I are here, and we're going to be discussing Five Nights at Freddy's. If you didn't get that from the intro, my little introduction, I unfortunately do not have any Geekdar, and I do not have any geeky news. So, Megan, you have a Geekdar though.
It's just that I bought a hoodie. I have a Five Nights at Freddy's hoodie.
Oh, that works for a Geekdar.
Yeah.
So, okay. I really know nothing about the franchise whatsoever. I know only what you have talked about and pretty much the Fox,
which is my favorite.
Yeah, which you have all over the house. Other than that, going into this movie, I had no clue. So I think we'll kind of maybe start this off with kind of our little overall views of the movie and spoiler free type views of the movie. So being somebody who's never played the video game whatsoever, knows nothing going into the franchise, had no idea what I was really what I wanted out of this film. I thought it was a decent movie. Not bad. The effects look great. The animatronic animals, whatever you want to call them, they looked really good.
Well, of course they did. They're Jim Henson creatures now.
And we'll get into that a little bit. So yeah, I thought it was a fairly decent movie for somebody who has no idea for the franchise. Let's see, for a rating. See what should we use as a rating, Megan? I didn't even think about a rating.
I've been trying to come up with one, and I don't know what I
want. Well, since okay,
well,
go ahead.
Just for the laughs, Balloon Boys.
The what?
Balloon Boys.
Balloon Boys. Balloon Boys.
The one that kept popping up.
The little quote unquote jump scare. Okay, Balloon Boys. All right, we'll go with Balloon Boys. I was thinking maybe the cupcake, but we'll do Balloon Boys. That's fine. So on a scale of 1 to 10, again, not knowing anything about the franchise, I enjoyed it pretty good. It was a good movie. A lot of heart to it, honestly. I like the overall family feeling and aspect it had to it. I thought that was really good, and I kind of liked the way it ended. On a horror aspect, it probably will. If you're going into this film looking for a lot of horror, you're not going to get much of that. Honestly, there's a few jump scares here and there. Sometimes the animatronics are pretty freaky looking at times. But for the most part, I didn't think it was all that scary. It wasn't, really intent, but I'm also not the core audience for this. It's a PG-13 film, so that's kind of expected. So I will give it 7 out of 10 Balloon Boys, which I think is a respectable score for this movie. All right, Megan, your overall, no spoilers, and your score for the movie.
I absolutely adore this movie.
I knew that was coming.
I didn't quite get into it. Ye- Hi Sage. I didn't quite get into it right when it started, because I didn't know who Markiplier and Jacksepticeye were, because those are the ones that I've watched play the games. Um, Mostly Mark, because Jack's not really a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's. But so I got really into watching the games a couple years after it started. Um, but as a fan who also followed game theory, and let's face it, Matt Pat wrote the lore. So having that,
Okay, now, okay, go ahead and give your overall, and then explain who Matt Pat is.
but um, I agree with the animatronics are phenomenal. Um, it's just seeing them come to life, and they just look so amazing. I I absolutely loved seeing that. That was immediately one of my favorite things. Um, and I can't even talk about it. I don't know. I'm just gushing.
Take it slow. You can do it. You can do it.
Sorry. I just every single little like detail that there was that I knew about, and there's things that I didn't know about. Because like there's a whole lot of Easter eggs, and there's things from like the books, and I've only read the first one, and I need to read the other ones. But there's just a whole lot of things. There's things that I missed, uh, even watching it 4 times in a row. um I just finding out everything that I can about it. I just love it even more and more every time I find something out new. Um, as yes, I have talked to people who don't really know the franchise, and I was talking to one of my coworkers, and he was like, "Oh, I know about that because on Halloween I dressed up as one of the animatronics." That's I found out technically in it, but they're very hidden. Um, but I dressed up as the marionette or the puppet, and I was talking to one of my coworkers because he asked what I was dressed as, and I explained it, and and I was talking about the movie because obviously, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I want to go see that." I was like, "If you're going for horror, it's in the story rather than what you see, because like you can't get the horror from the actions without it being kind of gory." And yeah, they could have done more jump scares, but we would have had more kill counts. And well, I would have loved that. It's like you said, they put it as a PG-13 rating, and I understand that they did that to expand the audience because there are a lot of younger fans, so you can't really throw in a rated R. But I do wish that we could have gotten a rated R because I would have loved to see more bloody kills. Because I like that. I'm a horror fan. I like some gore, but yeah, for the rating, I'm at like 9.5.
9.5. Wow. Wow.
I've
Dang.
watched it 4 times.
Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah,
I
you
love
you
this
saw it.
movie.
You saw it Thursday night in the theater.
Friday.
Last Thursday night when it premiered. You and I went and seen it on Friday,
Then we
and
came
then
home and watched it with mom on Saturday.
yeah, we watched it on Saturday on Peacock, and then I guess you watched it again
I
on
watched it with
Peacock.
my friend on Sunday.
All right.
No, it would be better than that. because I have no interest in that.
Let's see. Rated R, Five Nights is essentially the Winnie Pooh movie.
No.
All right. Well, hey, look, Steven's here. Hi there. What?
Nope.
I keep trying to add myself, and you.
Well, got it.
Welcome, Steven.
Hey,
All right.
everybody.
Well, we kind of did the intro to the show. I don't have any Geektar and I don't have any news, so we
Right
just
on.
kind of
We're right
skipped over
into
that.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
So we just Megan and I gave our overalls and our ratings. We are using Balloon Boy as our rating scale. So yeah.
Balloon
Go.
Boy, huh?
Balloon Boy. You know what Balloon Boy is? He was the little jump scare, like in the locker.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Little
When that popped up
statue.
like 3 times.
And the post-credit scene.
Right. Yeah,
Yes.
I forgot about the post-credit scene too.
Yeah. All right. So what did you guys give it then?
I gave it a 7 out of 10.
I give 9.5.
I knew that was coming.
Listen, I love this movie.
I give it let's see here.
Are you a pirate?
I would give it it depends on what genre. What genre are we putting this in? Are we
I'd
putting
say
in
it's more as a thriller.
more of a thriller? If you say
Yeah.
more a thriller, then I would definitely give it probably a good I would give it a good 7 out of 10 Balloon Boys. If we go for horror, I'd have to give it less. Kind of a thing. So if
I
we say
agree with that actually. I gave it a 7 out of 10 too.
Mhm.
Go ahead. I interrupt you. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. I enjoyed it. It's not a bad movie. It's not a great movie, but it's not a bad movie. Is it worth seeing on Peacock? Sure, absolutely. Especially if you're a Five Nights at Freddy's fan. I have not played the games. My son Troy has played the games. Megan, how many of the games have you played?
I've never actually played them. I'm not good at games.
Okay,
But
that's all right.
I've watched them be played through by my YouTubers.
Oh, right. Sure. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I know there's a lot of people that's going to be in it.
Sage gives it a solid 8.
Sage
not
says
fun.
solid 8. Okay.
Yep. Sage Page. And Sage, I think, plays the game.
Sage, that's pretty funny. Steven skipped the intro.
I missed that.
Oh, gosh. That was pretty funny.
Dalton said 6.7 earlier.
What'd you say, Megan?
I said Dalton said 6.7 earlier.
6.7.
I missed Dalton's score. 6.7. He's a dork.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty funny.
7. That's worse than Steven's scores.
Yeah. If it was going for horror, which I thought it was going to be, my response to my wife Kelly was, I needed more bloods and gore, and I was like,
yeah, you sent me that text.
I did. That's why I sent it to you, because I was like, oh yeah, blood, guts, and gore, and it just came out bloods and gore. So I don't know if that's going to be a new phrase for me or not.
Bloods and gore.
Bloods and gore.
Well, you know, I'll go ahead and start ramping up our November schedule here. So I think we're gonna have a November of Bloods and Gore, since you said that. So we seem to be moving into a Christmas horror phase. We are going to be doing Werewolf Santa along with the Three Geeky Dads on November 25th. We are also gonna, and we haven't nailed down the dates for the other two yet. Obviously, they're going to be in the next 2 weeks. We just haven't figured out which one's which. Excuse me, but we're doing Krampus. You say Krampus.
I say Krampus. Yeah, right there. I love it.
And we are going to do Jack Frost, which I got a feeling that is going to be the weirdest of the three. So,
And that's not is it Michael Keaton, Jack Frost?
no,
No.
it's not the Michael Keaton. Jack
No, because that one's not a horror movie.
Right, I'm teasing. Yeah.
Right. The other one is a horror movie. I think this Jack Frost came out in 97, and I think the Michael Keaton one came out in 96.
Mhm.
And Nerdery Murdery says it's pronounced, I guess, the way it's spelled. Because Krampus, which is the way I say it.
Wolf Killer said he saw that movie.
So Steven and I both give it 7 out of 10. Now, Megan, you said something about Matt Pat. Can you explain a little bit who Matt Pat is?
Matt Pat is Matthew Patrick, known as the Game Theorist on YouTube. He also has like 3 other theory channels now. He's expanded his I don't know what to call it. But while you have Markiplier, who is pretty much known as the king of FNAF, because he's like played through every single game and like finished every single game, and it was a huge part of his upbringing. Matt Pat was a huge part of his upbringing on YouTube was his Five Nights at Freddy's theories. It kind of what put him on the map because he connected a lot of dots that made sense and people liked them. There is no really official lore to FNAF. I mean, there's things that
I love how you guys call it FNAF.
Yeah,
it's an abbreviation.
Is that what Troy calls it too, Megan or Steven?
Yeah.
He calls it FNAF. Okay.
It's FNAF.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
See, I guess I'm just old.
It's shorter than saying Five Nights at Freddy's every single time.
I guess.
Right.
Yes. So anyway, so Matt Pat's a YouTuber that you really enjoy, who's covered the
lore,
the series lore, and he was in the film.
Yes, he had a cameo.
And
it was funny because he actually kind of trolled us all because like the year leading up to this film, he was constantly like, oh yeah, I never got a call in. I think I deserve that because I mean, like, I'm a huge part of the FNAF community. This man has been a theater nut since he was a kid, so he's a very good actor, and he had us all fooled that he was not going to be in the movie, and like, I don't know how many, a decent way in. I recognized his voice. Like, I didn't, because you hear him before you see him. And as soon as I heard him on Thursday night, I like seized up. I was like, it's Matt Pat. I'm like, oh my gosh, he is actually in it. I was so happy. This man had us all fooled because he had us convinced that he was nowhere near invited to be on the production set, and he had a cameo.
Nice.
One of the fun things about it was I appreciated the fact that in the movie he was like, it's just a theory. You know, he does his, you know, it's you know.
Yeah, he did say that, didn't he? Because he comes up to the table and says that lunch is the most important part of the day. Mm-hmm. And they said, well, I thought breakfast was, well, that's just a theory.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a great way to get his catchphrase in. Yes. That was pretty funny.
Right. It was good. Yes.
Hey, Steven, check the private chat real quick. Sorry. Okay. So was there any other YouTubers that made an appearance?
Yes. I've never really watched him, but the cab driver was the other YouTube cameo. His name is Corey Kenshin. He also has a pretty big FNAF following. He got a lot of his popularity as well. And Mark was supposed to be in it. He was supposed to be the security guard at the beginning. However,
the first kill.
Yes.
Oh, spoiler alert. Sorry.
Yes. Mark was supposed to be the first security guard, who is actually theorized to be Fitz from the games, because it's Fitz. I want to say Fitzgerald was the last name. No, that was a different one. So in the first game, there's technically 7 nights, because there's like 2 extra nights that you get to unlock, and the first 6 is the security guards is Jeremy Fitzgerald, and then there's another one that's first name is Fitz. So when Mike has the tape under, or when he has the tape that has his name on it, it has Fitz written underneath it.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, Mark couldn't. There were scheduling conflicts because he's making his own movie based on another video game, titled Iron Lung. Iron Lung.
Iron Lung. Okay.
Which he's also apparently going for the record of most blood used in it in a movie.
Oh.
So I'm guessing that's not going to be a PG-13 movie then. Now wait a minute. There's
But he's also, it's like Iron Lung is kind of like it's something about a sub. I've never watched the playthroughs of it. I should probably do that before the movie comes out. But it's like a sea of blood, basically, and you're in a submarine in a sea of blood. So
Gotcha. Okay. And that's why it's called Iron Lung.
yeah, I think so.
Okay. I was gonna say, how exciting can a video game be about an iron lung? That does not sound exciting at all.
Yeah, unfortunately, he wasn't able to be in it.
Today I breathed.
But Scott Cawthon, who is the creator of FNAF, and he also helped produce, obviously, has said that if and when the second movie gets greenlit, Mark will be in it.
Gotcha.
Because he wants Mark to have a cameo.
You talk Markiplier?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Mark Fishmark.
So I counted a total of 5. I think the kill count was 5, which I thought was pretty low.
Could be 6.
Could
He's
be 6.
Never actually gone back.
I don't know. When I was counting, if I remember right, I think I had 5 is what my kill count was, which I thought was kind of low. But again, it is kind of geared for preteen and teen, so which is why you get the PG-13 rating, and I guess that's why the kill count was that low. I would like to know how people reacted who play the video game and such, and how they felt the game was, or how the movie was compared to the game. If it was satisfying, if it was
right,
did it live up to their expectations? So if anyone's got any comments on that, please put them into the comments section of this.
Because there was one point where Troy kind of cried out. He's like, "No, they're ruining it," and I wasn't for sure, so I didn't quite understand that at the time. Kind of a thing. So,
well, Megan said they changed some characters around.
They did.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if it's in the book. See, they seem to be going more off of the books.
Okay.
And I've only read the first one, but technically there's a whole bunch, but there's a main trilogy, and I've only read the first one out of it. But I know that in the games, between the games and the books, William Afton has 3 kids, and his business partner, Henry Emily, I think is his name, has 1. So on the Aftons, you have Michael Afton, Elizabeth Afton, and Evan Afton. Those are the 3 kids. Michael is Michael Schmidt, who is now not in Afton. You have Evan, who ends up being one of the two souls inside of Golden Freddy, and then you have Elizabeth, who becomes Baby, which is from one of the later games, and it's called not
So,
Security Breach.
so wait a
Sister
minute,
Location.
Baby. Is Baby the one that they were trying to?
No, I thought so, but that one is actually from the books. She's from I think she's the cover of the third book, and her name is Ella. I was reading Dalton's comment.
Sorry, I was responding. I was telling Dalton something.
The that's one of the Easter eggs, though. The springlog suit that they try to that Mike discovers, and then later Abby almost gets put into, is actually from the books. Her name is Ella. I don't know much about her, but yeah, I thought at first it was going to be, it was tripping over words, nod to Circus Baby, but it's actually Ella.
So what I hear you saying is that we have both the movie takes from the game and a series of books.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh yeah. There are books to this. We actually saw those at Sam's, I believe.
Mhm. There's a whole lot. Okay, so there's the main trilogy, which I should look that up. I know the first one is Silver Eyes.
So there's three. So okay. So with the books, so there's books, there's games. How many games? There's 5. How many?
There are I want to say 7 main games now, and a couple of like branched off ones, but we still get lore from them.
You get lore from both the games and. Wait a minute. Whoa, I missed that.
Yes.
Sorry, I was responding to something.
Okay, there are 9 in total.
There are 9
Wow.
games or 9 books.
There's 9 games.
9 games. Okay.
There's a whole lot of books. Let me look.
Now, are we talking books or are we talking comic books?
So the comic books that we saw was a graphic novel rendition of the main trilogy, which those 3 books are the Silver Eyes, the Twisted Ones, and the Fourth Closet.
Gotcha.
I didn't realize there were comic books too. My brain was just on novelizations or something.
I didn't know the books until we saw them at Sam's one day because I was like, "Hey, Megan, look, there's Five Nights."
Yeah.
Or Five Nights at Freddy's.
So the movie took inspiration from the books, then the comic adaptations, and then there was then the games and stuff. So I thought was interesting was it's like a scary Chuck E. Cheese. That's kind of what I thought because I haven't played the games.
Yeah, it's there's kind of it's not technically based. It's never been like confirmed. Scott always denies it, but there was a there was a child that went missing and I think was killed, and it had to do with a Chuck E. Cheese, and that's kind of what we all think inspired Five Nights at Freddy's, because it is very much like that. Because the original, the base story of it is that you have William Afton, and you have the 2 that start the business, and then there's they have the 2 Springlock suits, and so you've got your mascots and a family diner that has them, and then you had kids that went missing and were murdered. And the FNAF franchise, it's 5 kids. which I should have pulled up their names. But I think it was only like one for the Chuck E. Cheese one, but there is
So-
a similar store.
Are you saying that because in the story we have Mike, and Mike's kid brother gets kidnapped, and really the story revolves around Mike and how he's trying to go back in his memories and figure out who it was that took his brother.
Mhm.
And so it sounds like what you're telling me is in the stories that's his little brother. I think it was Garrett.
Mhm.
Yeah. So if I'm hearing you right, it sounds like Garrett was based on the kid in the books, not from the video games.
So the 4 kids, they seem to have been switched. So now William Afton is the one with one child, with an only child, and that's Vanessa in this. Whereas in the lore of it that we know of, it was Henry's daughter, and her name was Charlie, who she becomes the puppet, who is kind of like a protector, because the puppet was actually made to protect her, but she ended up getting locked out of the pizzeria, and so therefore the puppet couldn't protect her, and then Afton killed her. So then she ended up possessing the puppet to try to protect others. That is who they are theorizing that Garrett is basically going to be. He's basically being theorized.
You think so? It's believed that Garrett's going to be in the second film then.
Yes.
As one of the characters.
Yes.
As one of the animatronics.
Yes, it is believed. It is theorized that he's going to come back as the puppet, and instead of being Charlie.
See, that was the one thing I didn't understand, because all the other kids that were kidnapped and killed became animatronics, and I didn't understand why Garrett was never an animatronic. That to me never really made sense. I didn't get that.
See, that's also why I think they officially like switched it, because otherwise, why would he take somebody outside? Because all the other ones, because the intro for it, like the intro credits, the little 8-bit animation, which is actually a callback to the games, because a lot of the backstory that we get is in these little mini games that are 8-bit style. So that's a callback to that. You see William luring the 5 kids into their deaths, and that's what that 8-bit intro is.
But, so wait. So we actually saw the kidnapping of the 5 kids then?
Yeah.
I guess I didn't pay enough attention to that.
I didn't really. I wasn't paying attention.
I Steven skipped it.
Yeah, you almost made me choke there.
I was like, "Oh, this is just intro. Come on, let's start the movie."
Brenda and I were watching something earlier this week. I don't remember what we were watching, and I went, Steven's going to Steven skip this. I guarantee he's going to Steven skip this.
No, not.
Was it FNAF? What part was that I said?
The dream sequences.
The dreams. Oh, that's right. That's right. Because they showed kind of the same thing like 3 times, and I go, yeah, that's what it was. And I told Brenda, I go, Steven's gonna skip this. I'll bet you Steven skips this.
Yeah. So my watching framework for this movie was, for those that don't know, I work nights too. So I woke up from my nap before I went into work, and Troy and Kelly were watching it. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll eat my dinner here and watch it. So they were kind of in the middle of it. And so I started watching it, and I said, oh, okay. So, and so then
wait. So you started watching in the middle of the film? And then...
Well, yeah, because I couldn't tell him to stop watching it.
Well, I know, but
but yeah. So then when I sat down to watch it, I started with the beginning stuff, and I was like, yeah, let me skip the credits. Okay, I can skip the credits. It's just the opening credits, no big deal. And then I was like, oh, this is like the dream sequence I've already seen. I must have already seen this part. Skip.
I told her you would
Skip.
skip it.
So yes, you are correct. And then when I finally caught up to where I was, then I didn't skip anything else.
Now you
kind of
do
thing.
realize each dream sequence something different did happen, right? Oh no, you didn't, because you Steven skipped it.
I still saw the images.
Oh my gosh. The most important
There was a reason he was doing that, dude.
Well, oh well.
I knew it. I called it. I so called it. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh.
Just the first dream sequence probably is what it was. I was like, oh, I've already seen this, thinking I had already seen it before. Just saying.
Okay.
I already know what happens.
You didn't. Well, not totally. I mean, eventually he catches up to the one and talks to him and everything. So,
we should come up with a rule for every Steven skip Steven does. He has to add 0.1 to his score. Because in order to be fair. Well, technically you didn't see the whole movie, Steven. So everything that you skipped is 0.1 addition. So I guess for my score should be changed from 7 to probably 7.4.
so now you're starting to sound like Dalton with his 7, or no, Dalton had
6.7.
6.7.
6.7. I know. That was my inspiration.
Yeah, Dalton gave it a
Dalton
lower.
going 6.7.
Dalton's like a big fan of this stuff, and he gave it a lower score. Speaking of Dalton, I'm trying to bring him in. I don't think he knows how to join. I don't think he knows how to join, though. I figured since he's played the game, we'd bring him in. But oh wait, there he is.
Says device is not connected.
Oh yeah, it sure does. Okay. I don't know. So we're having technical difficulties with our little expert, I guess. I don't know what's going on, Dalton. Apparently you can't use whatever device you're using. So so the other thing I wanted to know, Megan, you said that, okay, obviously this is kind of designed around Chuck E. Cheese's, because I mean, obviously the animatronics are, paying tribute to the Chuck E. Cheese animatronics and the whole pizzeria and the video games in the pizzeria. It's all designed around Chuck E. Cheese's. But you said apparently there was kind of a controversy with Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh yeah.
There was. Hey, I'm just saying, you know how people get scared of clowns? I'm sure FNAF started because people got scared at Chuck E. Cheese and then created a horror film because, it wasn't clowns like in the movie It or something,
So we getting a horror version of Mickey Mouse then?
Well, we got Winnie the Pooh.
I know.
We should add that to our list. Because I saw Blood and Honey on Peacock, I think, right?
I think
Was
it's on one of them.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead. I want to hear this controversy with Chuck E. Cheese.
So ever since FNAF became a thing, obviously people made the connection with Chuck E. Cheese. They've not liked that. They've never liked it. And a lot of times, like on all their social media, if you even reference FNAF in their comments, they will block you.
Oh, they won't just delete the comment, they'll block it.
But, however...
Wait a minute. If you say something about Chuck E. Cheese in...
No, if you say something about FNAF within the Chuck E. Cheese's social media...
Oh, really?
They will delete your comment and block you.
Wow.
Yeah, because they don't want anything to do with it, supposedly. However, after we got the poster...
Can you say jealous?
Right?
Oh my gosh.
After we got the poster for FNAF and 2 weeks before the movie came out, Chuck E. Cheese put out almost an exact replica of the poster for their 5 Nights of Fun.
Oh, that's funny.
They had a whole entire thing that was you could so tell that it was based off of FNAF, and they were trying to ride the hype train, and it backfired on them so well. It's so hard.
So do you get your game card?
It's in my purse.
Oh, go
I
get
didn't
your
think about
game
that.
card. Go get it.
Okay.
Go get it. So since Chuck E. Cheese kind of dissed them, and apparently they made a deal with what? Dave and Buster's. They made a deal with Dave and Buster's. So Dave and Buster's has collectible game cards for Five Nights with Freddy's. We had to drive out to Dave and Buster's.
Oh, Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, we had to drive
Right.
out there a couple weeks ago just so Megan could get a game card from Dave and Buster's.
Right on.
So she
Right
just
on.
she just went to grab the game card. See, that should have been your geek star right there. Yeah, the
Right.
Five
All right.
Nights
We'll
with
bring her
Freddy.
back in.
All right, she's back.
It's hard to see because it's dark, but it's Freddy in the ball pit.
Oh, okay, cool.
And they have, or they were supposed to get like each one of them. I think they were supposed to have Freddy, Foxy, Bonnie, Chica, and I think the cupcake on its own, all with their head sticking out of the ball pit. And I think one was supposed to be the movie poster too. But when we went, this was the only one that they had. I wanted Foxy because
Yeah.
Foxy's my favorite.
Oh, I think it's funny that Chuck E. Cheese dissed them. I mean, I guess maybe they don't want to associate with the whole, murder type
Yeah.
thing or something like that. That
Murder.
right? Which, speaking of murder, if you haven't listened to it already, last week we recorded our 2-part series with Nerdery and Murdery, and we did it on the Dark Lord of the Sith, Darth Maul, and his apprentice Zaina. Great episodes. You have to check out the first one on our feed, and then the second one on Nerdery and Murdery's feed. So, anyway, I thought it was a decent movie. I'm up for a second one. I'll go see it.
We are supposed to get 3
Okay.
because Matthew Lillard has said that he signed a 3-movie contract.
Now, who's Matthew Willard?
Matthew Lillard is the one who played William After, or Steve Raglan, which I don't remember. That's actually a Easter egg too. I don't remember what it's spelled, but there's you can look that up. It's something I saw on TikTok, but yeah, Matthew Lillard, who is most known as Shaggy Rogers.
There you go.
But also, he got one of his first ones was Stu Macher, who is one of the Scream killers. He is one of the ghost faces.
Right.
And actually,
now I never watched Scream because I always thought it was just I don't know.
it's a good movie. You should watch it.
Anyway,
it's fun.
So I didn't know he was from that. I didn't realize that it was Shaggy until you told me.
Yeah.
Holy crap! That's okay. Mike, every time he'd come on screen, I'm like, I know who that guy is. Who is that guy?
Right.
And all of a sudden,
where have I seen him before?
right.
Right.
And Megan goes, PETA, Dad. I was like, oh, okay. Hunger Games.
Yeah, Hunger Games.
Hunger Games.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, he was the co-star.
I'm sorry. I thought we were still on Matthew Lillard. Sorry.
Team the Black. That was weird. Yeah, he was the co-star of Hunger Games.
Yes.
And as soon as she said that, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, now I hear his voice. And I was like, okay, that's who it is. Speaking of that, Hunger Games is a new movie coming out too.
Yeah. Which had a trailer in front of FNAF.
Yeah.
But going back to Matthew Lillard, he did the thing that he does as Ghostface, and I loved that reference too. Because when he has the knife and he swipes the blood off.
Not sure what that means. Serial
Movie Hackers.
killer
Another.
hackers. So he
Don't know
was
that
he
one.
was in that too, I guess. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, I cut you off, Megan.
Um, when he has the knife and he wipes the blood off, that's what he does as Ghostface.
Oh, okay. Right. So that was kind of sort of a little Easter egg too.
Mhm.
If you're a Scream fan, I guess. So there was some interesting stuff in it. The story was a little jangled up a little bit here and there, but
That's FNAF.
that's FNAF.
Yeah, I was as I was
Listen,
watching it, it was hard for me to keep up, if that makes sense. With wait a minute, what's happening with this amusement park gone to hell and back kind of a thing, or what's the you know I was just like, okay, and all right, here's some drama rama. Okay, oh yeah, girl cop. She seems to know what's going on. She's probably in on it. Okay, there's the ending. Oh, surprise. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's who the big bad guy is. Okay, that makes sense or whatever. Kind of thing. Oh, yeah, okay, that brings in, okay, yeah. So, I mean, there were some story beats that were some reveals. I don't know how far we are into spoilerific territory, but there were some reveals that I was like,
Oh, I think this whole episode has been spoilers, so don't worry about it.
right, right.
We've already spoiled many things, so
Yeah, my point being is it was as far as the story around it, around the amusement, the demented Chuck E. Cheese. They'll probably ban us for saying that. but I'm just saying, I think
if Chuck E. Cheese would like to sponsor us, by the way,
right. I'll go back to Chuck E. Cheese maybe here in a minute. But I
I'm
with
sorry, their pizza sucks. It's terrible.
yeah,
Sorry.
I would just say that the film itself was interesting. If I just looked at it from not a story factor, if I just let the story go and just kind of watch it, it was actually fun. When they were inside the amusement park. I keep saying that. I don't know why I keep saying that because I don't know what's it. Pizzeria. When they were inside there, I was like, okay, this was interesting, or kind of a thing. And there were some parts I didn't quite understand. With one of my favorite scenes was where there's the girl who pretended to be the babysitter, or who's the babysitter who pretended to be, whatever.
Oh yeah.
But when she goes into one of the animatronics and kind of looks in the head, and all of a sudden a hand comes out and grabs, and then you see the silhouette of it chomp and half her body. I was like, oh, there's bloods and gore, yay! Kind of a thing. I was like, okay, that was cool, kind of a thing. So
I mean, come on. You hear a child inside that thing, and you're gonna stick your head, into the, or right into the mouth of that thing.
well, I see
That
the way
seems
I
stupid.
viewed it, it looked like she pulled her in, like hands came out of it and pulled her in.
Well, sure, but she was moving
She's
into
still,
it.
yeah.
She was looking into it. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
inquisitive. What's going on in there?
yeah. My first thought is that thing's gonna bite my head off. No, thank you.
Yeah, there were some
I'm not
parts that Troy had to fill me in on, as far as, oh yeah, the animatronics were, kind of these suits that they wore, kind of a thing or something, and I was like,
Yeah, Megan kind of explained that to me too.
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't.
Man,
know
we
that.
were a bunch of old fuddy duddies trying to understand it.
But they're real. And the animatronics are really like that, although it's not as dangerous, obviously. Although, can we
I would
talk about
hope-
the animatronics?
I would hope they're not as dangerous as that for real. Yeah,
Although,
sure.
Foxy's arm did apparently catch on fire.
Okay.
So, the animatronics, 3 out of the 4 are wearable suits. and they had actors within them, that being Freddy, Bonnie, and Chico.
Okay.
Foxy is too slim and has too many like inside. He has too many parts of his endoskeleton showing to be able to have a person within him.
So is he an actual robot then?
Yes,
Oh,
he is
cool.
fully an animatronic,
Neat.
and I just love it because the animatronics. So they were done by the Jim Henson. What's Creature Shop or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
And they actually got the files from the games and they built them to a one-on-one scale of the file, like from the files of the game. So they are like as big as they would have, as they have, like ah
The ratio of what they had in the games is the same ratio as what they had when
Yes.
they created them for the film.
yes, they are
Very nice.
truly life size. They are exactly what Scott Cawthon pictured when he put them out. And I just and they're official Jim Henson creatures, and I love that.
Yeah.
That's
That's cool. I didn't know Jim Henson's Creature Shop was involved. That's pretty
Mhm.
cool. And
Wow.
That's why they look amazing.
I was wondering if they looked just like they do in the video games or not. If there was anything that was off or
The only thing is there's arguments about Bonnie
about what?
because Bonnie, the rabbit.
Okay.
Because
No, wait a minute. Is that the rabbit within the 5 or is that the big rabbit?
the rabbit within the 5.
Okay.
Okay,
right.
well, there's 2 of them.
Right. There's 2 bunnies.
No, I mean I have 2 of them that people are arguing about.
Okay.
No, Bonnie is in the movie he's purple, and the game, or well, no, in the movie he's kind of blue. The argument is between blue and purple, because in the the first 3 games, you see Bonnie and he seems more purple,
Okay.
and so everyone always Bonnie's purple. I think most of it's like the lighting though, because there's a lot of back and forth though with Bonnie's coloring, because in one of them you've got what we call the toy animatronics, and toy Bonnie is a light blue
Okay.
opposed to the purple that he seems to be with the fur. So there's arguments about like what color Bonnie is supposed to be, but I still think he looked fantastic.
So now I don't think they actually made any of the characters that you actually see in Chuck E. Cheese though.
No,
I mean, Chuck E. Cheese, obviously he's a
No.
mouse. And I honestly,
a
I don't,
mouse or a rat? No, I'm just kidding.
it's a mouse.
well, he's big, so I guess he could be a rat. But then again, that could be argued about Mickey Mouse too, because Mickey Mouse is big also. Well, until you see him in the cartoons, then he's small. But anyway, of course, I don't remember all the characters of Chuck E. Cheese. It's been years since we've been to Chuck E. Cheese, and like I said, their pizza sucks. It's like cardboard with cheese on it. Ugh, it's horrible.
The only one that you could really say there's a similarity is because Chuck E. Cheese has a chicken. I don't know her name, but she also looks nothing like Chica.
Right. Or Chica looks nothing like her.
Yeah.
Right.
The 2 look nothing alike of each other, except for the fact that they have a beak. Because they're chickens. But the other one that people are arguing about is Golden Freddy. Because in the movie, he didn't look golden. Well, he's an old animatronic / springlock suit. Of course, he's going to have some decay to him, and his fur is not going to look quite bright. And, like, it's stuffed away. Because, I mean, so Golden Freddy and what is Springtrap or Spring Bonnie, which is William Afton's suit, Yes, there's a difference in the colorations.
I am lost. I am so lost.
Golden Freddy is the broken Freddy, the one that the main kid who was talking.
So is the same spirit, because it's spirits basically. They're inside these suits. So is the same spirit in Freddy that's in Golden Freddy, or is that?
No.
Oh, okay.
They're two different ones. Okay. So when you have the
I'm kind of lost too, Steven.
I'm
when you have
lost. I just know all I wanted was more bloods and gore. That's all.
I think we're gonna get that in Werewolf Santa.
Go ahead, Megan. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. When you have the 5 show up like in the dream sequence.
Yes.
The one.
Wait, which one?
Yes. All but the first one.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding.
The
Steven skipped those, by the way.
But you still saw the kids outside of
yeah.
At least we think he saw them, because
maybe. Anyway, the kid with the brown and yellow striped shirt with the blonde hair, that is Golden Freddy.
Okay.
Oh.
The 5 or the 4 behind him was, I believe, in the order. It was Chica on the far, if you're looking at the screen right. It was Chica's soul, Freddy's soul. So Chica had the let's eat bib. Freddy had the hat. Foxy had the hook, and then Bonnie had the ears. And I think that's the order.
Oh yeah, because they did make that connection in there. That's correct. So with the police officer's dad, is that Golden Freddy?
No.
I'm confused now on who's who.
No, that's Springtrap. He's the big bunny.
He's who we refer to as Springtrap.
Springtrap. Okay.
Because his suit is the Spring Bonnie suit. It's a spring lock Bonnie suit. That's why it's the bunny. And it's the original.
Steven, you remember the children's pictures, and you saw the picture of the bunny in the center and the
yellow
kids,
rabbit.
Yeah, the yellow rabbit center, and that's him.
That's him.
That makes sense. That makes sense now. Okay. All right.
So it's called Spring Bonnie, and technically Golden Freddy is also called Spring Freddy because they are Springtrap suits. So the Spring Lock. The Spring Lock suits were made that they could either be animatronics that could move and stand on their own, or you could wear it. That's where the spring locks come in, because they lock in place to keep the person inside and keep from interacting, getting hit by the animatronic parts. Is the best way I can understand that. It was a mechanism to keep them safe within the suit. However, it didn't exactly work because they were very faulty, like they said in the movie. And
I liked the scene where she warns him about the one suit. I thought that was pretty cool. That was a good scene.
And then shoves the broom in it.
Yeah. And then he goes off on her. That could have done. That could have killed my sister and blah blah blah. I thought that was a good scene.
So the main problem with the spring locks is that any wet substance will set them off and they'll lock into place, which is what.
Oh, so like when they poured water or whatever on the stage.
Well, those aren't spring lock suits.
Oh, okay.
But that's the way that so in the lore of FNAF, the kid Evan that I mentioned earlier, he's known as the crying child because he was actually terrified of the animatronics and he was traumatized by them constantly because his family ran the place.
Hence what you said, Steven. This was probably inspired by some kid who was traumatized by Chuck E. Cheese.
Agreed.
But so the way that he dies is he gets shoved into the face of the spring Freddy suit because his they threw him a birthday party and his brother and his friends shoved him up into Freddy's face, and because he was crying, it activated the spring locks and the mouth shut on him.
Yeah, with friends like that, who needs enemies, right?
Well, it's siblings. There was his brother and his brother's friends.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah. So that's the main part of like how that works in the games. They seem to be more like if you bump them in the movie, because you have the one for Ella that got triggered. That's the suit that we see, and then later Chica tries to stuff Abby into. And then you also see that when the cupcake, who, yes, as Dalton said earlier in the comments, has a name. His name is Carl. I don't know why it's Carl.
I liked Carl.
So do I. Which actually there's theories about him too. Which I could get into. But when Carl bites Afton's suit, that's what triggers the spring locks. And we get the spring lock scene.
So how are some of the ways that you defeat the animatronics in the game? Because I mean, there's got to be ways that you defeat them in the game.
You don't defeat them, you just avoid them.
You just avoid them.
Yeah.
So you don't like in the movie they use the
Okay, well, there's that's kind of a callback to Sister Location. Because when you're playing Sister Location, there's a
Sister Location, meaning a second location to the pizzeria.
Yeah, so Sister Location is is more or less basically a giant basement, and it was used as a party rental. Like they rented out animatronics.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, understand.
So that's what the story for the location of Sister Location is.
Okay.
But so in that game, you're going through the different, because they each have their own like quote unquote stage, and you're going through each of them. And for some of, is he trying to connect on multiple devices?
I don't know what he's doing now. Sorry.
You might just have to patch him in through like a call.
I don't think we can do that though.
I thought we got that to work.
I don't know how we can do that.
I don't know.
Anyway, go ahead.
But so at some point, it's mostly with Funtime Foxy. There's a point that you're told to give him a controlled shock to get him to behave. So that's kind of where that ties into.
Gotcha. But they didn't shock Foxy. They shocked Freddy.
Vanessa did.
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
All four of them got shocked.
Okay, I guess so. So that is something that is a device they use in the game then.
In a way, yeah. It's kind of a nod to that. Which I actually didn't really think about until now.
Okay. All right.
But do you want to hear the theory about Carl?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
So, you know how Mom had asked me if there was a soul?
I did not know. I didn't know how.
My mother asked me if, after she watched it, if the cupcake had its own soul that was possessing it.
That's my question. Yes, I concur. Good question, Brenda. Just giving you kudos.
There is a theory that so Chica's soul's name is Susie, and they actually showed it in the credits too, which I didn't notice it because I was just gushing about the 8-bit thing. But the way that
I just even skipped the credits to see the mid credits and end credits.
Well, when we were in the theater, we couldn't do that. So
Right.
Gotcha.
So the way Susie gets lured in is Afton actually kills her dog. She has her dog with her, and he kills her dog, and that's how he lures her in. That was shown in the beginning credits too.
oh,
So the theory is that Carl the cupcake is her dog.
there's a lot that happened in these beginning credits, Steven.
Right? Wah wah.
Oh dang! I guess I should have paid more attention, but I still wouldn't have known what that meant.
I still would have known. I think
Right.
it's nice that they have all these Easter eggs for folks who are really
Yeah,
big
I mean that
fans.
is
I
that
love
is
nice.
nice.
Easter
Cool.
eggs.
I guess if I played the video game or something,
Well, for us two
Everybody
old farts, we just go for it for the
well,
yeah,
yeah, but
how's
we how often do we geek out over all the Star Wars?
agreed?
Right? So
Absolutely, yeah.
I don't think I think that's great. I think it's
do.
great they had all these Easter eggs. I just didn't know what they were. I had no
I could
idea.
explain another one.
Okay.
So the guy that
I love how excited she is about this.
I love FNAF. The guy that got his face mauled by Carl,
By the cupcake.
his shirt is actually one of the 8-bit games called Midnight Motorist in the 4th game, I believe. Wait, yeah, it's a still of one of the mini games from the 4th game, and it's called Midnight Motorist.
Midnight Motorist. Okay. Now, so there was a after scene credit or mid credit scene, which was pretty funny too. But was that you said that was a cameo too? He was a cameo.
That's Corey Kenshin.
Okay. So
Yeah, he got 2 scenes.
okay. I won't give away what happens in the scene in case you haven't seen the movie, but definitely stick around for the mid scene credit. It's worth it. It's pretty fun.
It was fun.
I like that.
Can we talk about the very end of the credits?
Sure.
Go for it.
So more into the theory that the puppet is going to be in the next movie. And I didn't notice this when we were watching it because I was gushing again.
Wait, which puppet? What are we talking about?
So there's one that's not technically shown. The one that I was talking about that's soul is Charlie.
Okay.
The one for protecting. It's called the marionette or the puppet. And it's got like a white face with the purple tear streaks, red cheeks, and it has like a black, almost like it basically looks like a pantsuit, but with like black and white stripes for the arms, and then like 3 buttons. As I just go into detail, just explaining the puppet. She's actually, I say she because it's Charlie, it's Henry's daughter, so I just refer to her as she. I don't know the exact scene, but there's a scene that you can very vaguely see the puppet's face behind Chica. Like, it's one of the scenes that she's walking around, and she's like down at the bottom. There's also been theorized that when Mike looks back behind the stage, you can see the puppet behind Chica there too. But I think that's more just an endoskeleton because you can't see any like of the puppet's features. But in the other still that I saw, it does look like the puppet's face. But anyway, so the first song that the credits have is Five Nights at Freddy's by the Living Tombstone, who kind of started the music side. They started the fan music and they got the most popular first. But the song after that, it's called My Grandfather's Clock, and it's the puppet's theme. It's so in the games you have a music box that you have to wind in order to keep from the puppet jump scaring you, and that's the theme. That's the music that plays. So
Okay.
my grandfather's clock plays, and then you get the robotic voice spelling "Come find me," and that's supposed to be the puppet's voice.
At the very end, okay. I wondered at the very end of the credits, it was spelling it out, and I was like, "What is spelling out?" So I had to turn on subtitles on my thing so I can understand what it was saying.
It spells "Come find me,"
Yes,
which is also puts into theory that it's Garrett being the puppet, because it's like that's the only one that we don't know that wasn't accounted for, that you don't know where.
I think Mike's gonna freak out if his brother's a puppet. That's gonna be kind of weird.
that'd be interesting, though. That's a nice, interesting twist to bring into the second film. Huh. Okay.
I'm excited.
Mike, did you get lost there for a second?
I'm sorry, I'm responding to Dalton.
He's still trying to
get in, and he keeps proposing ideas, and I'm like, no, I don't think that'll work. I don't think that'll work. I don't think that'll work.
Okay.
So anyway, sorry.
That's all right.
Well, all in all, I thought it was a decent movie. I enjoyed it. I think it's a fun watch if you're into this kind of stuff. I think you should check it out. Of course, if you're already a Five Nights at Freddy's fan, you're gonna go watch it. So,
Yes.
But that's pretty much all I got on that. So
Right on. Very good.
This was more of Megan's episode than it was ours. So
That's okay.
that's fine.
I mean, you knew that when I said I wanted to go watch it.
Yeah. I was like, well, this is we're going to be talking about this on the air. So definitely.
Right.
And then when I saw it was on Peacock, I was like, oh, this is a big plus because Steven will watch it then.
Yep.
You didn't have to go to the theater to see it. So.
That's right.
All right. Well, I think that's our coverage of Five Nights with Freddy's. Again, go see it if you're into this kind of stuff. It's not a bad movie. It's entertaining.
It's not a bad movie. No, it's not.
Entertaining. So
I have the tagline.
Oh, okay. Well, hold that.
I will.
Hold the tagline. All right.
Okay.
I'll let you close out the podcast then. All right, Steven.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. If you want to catch us on our website, that is 2geeksmike.com, 2geeksmike.com. There's our page for all things for the Two Geekdom. That's where you'll find us. Our links to our Facebook page, our Ko-fi page, also to our merch page, which is pretty cool. Ko-fi is where if you want to help support us and just help us, if you're enjoying the time, and we've got a $1 tier, a $2 tier, and a $3 tier where you can just help support us so that we can just pay for the stuff to do it. So that's really all there is to it. Once again, the Lamborghini, to be open with you guys, has been repossessed, so we no longer have the Lamborghini because we couldn't make payments on it. So just saying. But also, if you want to reach out to us here at the show, it's show@2geeksmike.com. If there's something that you would like us to talk about or share, please shoot us an email, and we'd love to hear from you. And so also if you go to our website, 2geeksmike.com, you'll go to our new merch page, which is on Fourth Wall, or technically the new
there
it is. I got it right there. 2geeksmikemerch.com is much easier than the Fourth Wall, but that'll take you there.
Much more easier. Cheers.
Yes, it's much more better to get there.
Oh, we have Angie coming in at the tail end.
So anyway, please be sure to check us out. Please, if you can, support us on our Ko-fi page. And with that, Mike, I will leave it to you.
All with that said, if you made it this far, please go and like and subscribe both on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure and give the little bell a tickle so that you will get notifications of every time we go live, which we go live pretty much every Saturday at 9 a.m. Central Standard. You do the math. I don't like to do math. To figure out the time in your local area if you are not a Central Standard Time person. So with that said, over and out, and
Catch you on the flip side.
nice. Thank you for joining us today on the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast. Tune in next week when we will have more news and reviews. Until then,
May the force be with you.